Well, Barts, we're back for the summer show.
Here it goes, here it goes, here it goes again. Oh, here it goes again. I should've known again. But here it goes again. Oh, here it goes again.
Yes, Grant. Riding on a high from the premiership with the football, so now we're out to get these Ashes back.
Yeah, and just like we started the football show late, we're going to start the cricket show late after the first victory. It's a case of not Hawke's one-eyed view, but it's just one-eyed view, the Australian one-eyed view from the dugout. And today we're going to be Batman and Robin without the Joker.
Oh, you'll think he's funny now.
I thought the Joker was an evil person.
He's more like Penguin, isn't he?
I believe the Penguin will lead off the debate.
Friends and fellow citizens, I want to give you my solemn word that there will be no mudslinging in this campaign, unless, of course, my opponent slings it. But I intend to stick to the issues. Now, what are the issues? There is only one.
You can debate that after the second test win. Well, let's follow the same format. It mightn't quite work, but we'll see how we go. So, scores, Bart.
All right, we had Australia 295 and 7 declared for 401. Defeat in the Pommy Smelly lot, 136 and 179. A victory by 381 runs. We should have let England bat 3 times.
I don't think Jonathan Trott wanted to.
No, Jonathan Trott didn't want to bat twice, let alone 3 times. You're right. I think Mitchell Johnson would have liked to have bowled 3 times.
Yeah, he was on fire, wasn't he?
To come back in the first test match after being dropped and to make over 100 runs and take 9 wickets for the match, man of the match performance, and very well deserved.
Good times come to me now. Good times come to me now.
Well, what about the Barslow for the Ashes? Or how about we call this one the Adam Wedlock Medal?
The Adam Wedlock medal, okay, we'll go with that. We'll stick to the same format, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, why not?
5 votes to Mitchell Johnson, 100 runs and 9 wickets, very good indeed. 4 votes, geez, it's probably a toss-up to one of these blokes who made 100 and got runs. Yeah, look, Brad Haddon. Mate, I'm being a big doubter of Brad. He didn't get the 100, but a 94 in the first innings was hugely important when we were in the poo, and he followed that up with 50 in the second innings, getting runs quickly when we needed him to put some pressure on. He gets 4. I'll give Warner 3 and Clark 2 for their hundreds, and I thought Nathan Lyon bowled very well. Didn't show it with the wicket so much, just picking up the 4, but really influenced the game when he got those quick 2 on the second day there and got through England. Made a huge difference, and then getting the wicket of Cook in the second dig, very important, so he can have the 1 vote.
And more importantly, you got to sing the song in the change rooms for the first time in 10 test matches.
Yeah, since Mr. Cricket handed it over to him, he finally got up there and had a go.
He must have wondered whether he was the problem.
Yeah, quite possibly he was bad luck there, but it was good. And the other bloke was his name? Sadberg. He took the catch of Kevin Peterson as a sub. That was getting England back at their own game there.
Yeah, excellent effort all round. So a few highlights, weren't there? Day 1 was quite interesting with the fight back with Haddon and Johnson.
Bit of positivity from Haddon, you know. He wasn't trying to knock every ball out of the park. He got 94 off 150 odd balls in 260 minutes. So, but he was positive with 1s and 2s and kept the score ticking over. You know, every run counts. And Mitchell Johnson was a bit more aggressive at the other end, and it worked really well and got us back in the game, and that was the difference.
Day 2, Johnson was back in the mix, and he's been threatening for about bloody 5 years, and he finally came good.
Yeah, mate, he was scary quick, and the Poms didn't like it. The bouncy wicket at the Gabba, he got into him, and can be wayward, Johnson, but his bounces always seem to be right on track. He's making blokes way out the way. It's not just a matter of letting it go over your head. He makes them play him, and that's how we got a few of those wickets. And look, God was probably not in our best 4 or 5 fast bowlers before the match, but obviously a few injuries, and he sneaks into the team, and he's grabbed his spot, and now he's there until someone else can get him out.
And you think Craig McDermott makes a difference being back as the bowling coach?
Yeah, we did look better with him as a bowling coach, and you know, he's always one about bowling full and hitting good lengths and making batsmen play, and then using the short ball as a weapon. And look, Johnson really did that. He probably bowled shorter than what McDermott would have, but he had good reason to, because they didn't like it.
No, it was good. And then on day 3, Warner finally came good, and Clark, well, he was back to his best as well.
When Clarkey came in after we lost 2 quick wickets in the morning of day 3 with Rogers and Watson going pretty cheap, Clark came in and they went straight away, bring broad on, let's bowl bounces at him, and he stepped back on the back foot and pulled him through mid-wicket for 4, and I went, next plan, boys, he's all over here, and he went on with it. Very well constructed 100 by both of them, to be honest. That was it. Once those two got together and got their hundreds, that was the game. Then it was a matter of how much we wanted to embarrass them.
Tell you what, it allowed George Bailey to take to Chris Broad in one over there. A beautiful 6 straight back over the side screen.
Yeah, he's got something, Bailey. His first-class average is pretty poor for a bloke who got a test match, but he does have the ability to get on top of the bowlers, and, if our middle order and our top order sort of fire up a bit, so he can come in when we're 4 for 300 or something like that, he's really got that ability to take the game away from a team. So I think they'll persevere with him for a little while until there's a weight of runs pushing him out, but so far so good.
And then on day 4, we thought Alistair Cook was going to bore us to death, and luckily that wasn't to be.
Yeah, 65 off 195 balls with 3 wonderful boundaries, Alistair Cook. Yeah, he was trying to bore us to death, and really they had no option. They couldn't go after the runs. They had to bat for 2.5 days, so that's all he could do was hope for rain, and he was boring as hell. But luckily, Lyon come on, got the job done and knocked him over, and then they felt like a deck of cards again.
Is his uncle Chris Tabarot?
Alistair Cook.
Yeah.
And I think his godfather's probably Jeff Boycott.
Oh, yeah. Get those boring batsmen out there.
Yeah, it's funny, Cook, because last time he batted at the Gabba, he made a couple of hundred and made us look very second rate. Amazing what a couple of years difference can do.
And so it was all over and they could go and play golf on day 5.
Yeah, they could, and then they'd jump on their plane and head up to the lovely Alice Springs for a couple of days.
Now, we could go on with a blast or a rant, maybe a wee rant, and that was they went off for the second time on the 4th day, and that looked like it. And then I've turned on the ABC News, and they've just said, well, Australia have just won the first test. And what had happened was they'd put it on Gem.
Yes. I was one of the lucky ones, believe it or not. We had it on in the bar. Obviously, it had gone to the news or whatever else they had on first, some rubbish, and then the news. And while we were sitting there watching the news, and I was serving behind the bar, a customer said, Glenn, they've just put on the bottom of the news that the cricket's on Gem and they're about to restart. So I flicked it over and we've watched it. I only to find out later it was the only time they ran it across the bottom of the news screen for about 3 seconds. And talkback callers were all over them the next day. So a lot of people missed it. Luckily, I wasn't one of them.
Well, maybe that might be the way to go when we're getting close to win, that we just put it on Gem and no one knows. And then it's so exciting when we find out we won.
I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it. I'm about to lose control, and I think I like it.
Yeah, but everyone at home, they didn't switch over. They missed the incident with Clark and Anderson.
Yeah, I know. What do we think of this?
I believe that was in the last little bit of play there, was it not?
It was. Were we excited by the aggressive nature of the Australian cricketers, led by the captain?
I've always rated him on the field, Michael Clark. I think he does an excellent job of control and setting good fields, and maybe the off-field stuff, players, personalities and stuff, he struggles with, but on the ground I think he does an excellent job, and I think he backed that up this week.
Well, the commentators were all saying how they thought once and for all he showed what a leader he was when he was so determined to tell Jimmy Anderson he was going to get a broken arm.
Yeah, well, according to Shane Warne, Jimmy Anderson had told he was going to punch him in the face or something along those lines, and he said, don't talk to my players like that, more or less, and get ready because the next one's short and it's at your arm and it's going to break.
Oh, well, you get what you asked for.
Yeah, it's cost him probably, 20% of his match fee. He probably gets about 12 grand a match or something, all because the stump microphone was turned up.
As Ned Kelly said, such is life.
Money well spent.
Righto, well, we move on to Adelaide.
In South Australia I was born, heave away, all away in South Australia round Cape Horn, and we're bound for South Australia. All away, you rolling king, heave away, all away, all away, and hear me sing, and we're bound for South Australia.
And what sort of game's this going to be?
Well, Adelaide wicket, you can normally say pretty flat, batsman's paradise, and look for a draw, but we've got a drop in pitch, so we're not 100% sure what sort of wicket it's going to be. England on the back foot, obviously Mr. Trot's trotted off home, and I don't know, they'll probably put Root up to 3 and bring that run machine Bairstow in at 6, so all of a sudden we're looking like we're right on top. Hopefully our top order can fire up.
They could be Root Ted.
Could indeed, and I don't know if Graham Swan will have a better performance on the batsman-friendly Adelaide Oval pitch, because our performance in Brisbane was quite scary. 2 for over 200 for Mr. Swan.
Or as Richie would say, 2 for 222.
Yeah, something along those lines. I think it was for 80 in the first dig and 2 for 135, one of which at least was a cheapie towards the end there. And for a bloke who flips his collar up and wears the sunglasses when he bowls, you might want to bring some better performances outside of your dust bowl English wickets before you start that rubbish.
So win, loss or draw?
I think we'll win.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I really think they're rattled, mate. We'll still bowl cricket them. You can still bowl short, fire them up a bit, but yeah, mentally, I think we're on top now. And as long as the top order can put together at least one decent knock amongst them to take the pressure off a little bit, I think we'll be fine.
So do they fly James Faulkner home to play Shield cricket?
Well, they did that last week, didn't they? He went off and played Shield cricket. So yeah, who knows? You'd imagine they'd go with an unchanged side. There's not really any reason to change anyone there. You'd think that they'll still take a spinner, so Faulkner won't play, and we'll wait to see when we get to Perth what they do there.
Player to watch out for?
Mate, on that wicket, I reckon George Bailey might get a decent score. He's had a look at Test cricket now, and if he can get in, as I said earlier, when we're in a decent position with a little bit of pressure off him, I think he can get a good score.
My player to watch is Steve Smith. I reckon you get a 5 for.
Ooh, that's a big call. He's not even getting invited to the bowlers' meetings anymore, apparently. The kids,
they have meetings, do they?
Apparently when they have their bowlers' meetings to talk about strategies and that, he doesn't go to those, but he's ready to bowl when required.
Do they have a keepers meeting?
Yeah, Brad Haddon and himself.
Bowlers meeting? Why don't they just meet as a team? Go out on the pitch.
There's a bowlers meeting, and there's a batsman's meeting, and there's a keepers meeting, like you said.
Is there an all-rounders meeting?
Shane Watson by himself.
Is there a coaches meeting?
Yeah, I don't even know who the coach is. Boof. It's Boof.
Boof.
I don't know who the rest of them are, though. Yeah. Must be somewhere.
Oh, they're well led now, aren't they? The Boof has made a difference.
Boof, Craig McDermott. Is Justin Langer still the batting coach?
No, he can't be because they're batting too well.
It went all right when he went to the top of the order, Justin.
Just because he can bat doesn't mean he can coach.
Normally it's the other way around, isn't it?
Oh, look at Paul Peter Knight. Great footballer.
Those that can do and those that can't coach.
Yeah, exactly right.
Boof went all right, though.
Boof was good, and it's good to have him back. Well, hopefully we might have the Joker back after the next Ashes test, and we might get him to do a Bill Laurie impersonation. Yep. So, how do we end this show?
I don't know.
Go Aussies, go. Come on, Aussie, come on.
Aussie.
Oi, oi, oi.
Yeah, maybe not that one. Come on, Aussie, come on. That's cricket.
See you, Mr. Cricket.
See you, Grant.
Come on, Aussie, come on.